I used your kids' savings to buy my dream home. Amanda's voice rang through my phone speaker, dripping with smug satisfaction. They don't need college anyway. I mean, look how well I turned out without it. I gripped my coffee mug tighter, watching my two children through the kitchen window as they played in the backyard. 10-year-old Emma was helping her 7-year-old brother Lucas build what looked like a rocket ship out of cardboard boxes. Both of them were already dreaming about their futures. Emma wanted to be an aerospace engineer. Lucas talked about becoming a doctor. Interesting choice, I replied, keeping my voice steady despite the rage building inside me. Oh, come on, Marie. Don't be so uptight, Amanda laughed. I saw an opportunity and I took it. The realtor said it was the last waterfront property available. I couldn't let it slip away just because you're hoarding all that money for some far-off future. My name is Marie Chen, and at 35, I just discovered my sister-in-law had somehow accessed the college fund accounts I've been building for my children since they were born. These weren't just savings accounts, they represented every extra shift I'd worked as a nurse, every bonus I'd saved, every sacrifice I'd made to ensure my kids would have the opportunities I never had. Besides, Amanda continued, clearly enjoying herself, I'm doing you a favor. Now you won't have to worry about all that boring college planning. The kids can just work their way up like I did. I mean, look at me, high school diploma, and now I'm about to own a mansion. What Amanda didn't know, what she hadn't bothered to find out before her little power play, was that I hadn't built those college funds alone. My late husband James had been equally committed to our children's future. Before his death 3 years ago in a car accident, he'd made sure there were ironclad protections in place. The movers are coming tomorrow, Amanda announced cheerfully. I can't wait to post photos of my new life. Maybe I'll let the kids visit sometimes, show them how their aunt lives in luxury while their mom penny pinches for some overpriced education. I watched Emma help Lucas attach wings to their cardboard rocket. They were so much like their father, creative, determined, always dreaming big. James would have been proud of them. He also would have been livid at his sister's betrayal. When did you make the transfer? I asked, my tone casual as I opened my laptop. Last week. Can you believe how fast everything moved? The realtor said it was the smoothest cash transaction she ever handled. Though honestly, those bank people were kind of weird about it. So many questions, but I handled it like a boss. I pulled up my email and quickly found what I was looking for. An alert from our family lawyer that I'd been saving for this exact moment. And you're moving in tomorrow? Yep. The truck's all loaded. I'm going to do a final walkthrough of the mansion this afternoon. 4,700 square feet, Marie. That's what real money can buy when you're not wasting it on books and lectures. I thought about the conversation I'd had with our lawyer 6 months ago, when he'd noticed some suspicious inquiries about the children's accounts. James had always said his sister was opportunistic, prone to taking shortcuts. He'd made sure to protect our children from exactly this kind of situation. Well, Amanda, I hope you didn't pack too much, I said, finally allowing a hint of steel to enter my voice. What's that supposed to mean? The smugness in her tone wavered slightly. Check your email, the one you used for the property purchase. It should have arrived about, I glanced at my watch, 5 minutes ago. The line went quiet except for the sound of Amanda's fingernails clicking on her phone screen. Then I heard her sharp intake of breath. This has to be a joke, she stammered. Property transfer void? Funds returned due to fraudulent access? What did you do? I didn't do anything, Amanda. James did. Years ago. Those college funds. They're in an educational trust. Any attempt to use them for non-educational purposes triggers automatic legal intervention. The money's already been returned to the trust accounts. But I already signed the papers. The house is mine. You signed papers using money you obtained fraudulently. The trust's lawyers have already contacted the real estate company. Check your next email. It should be from them, voiding the sale. You can't do this to me. Amanda's voice rose to a shriek. I already told everyone about my new house. I posted it on Instagram. Then I guess you'll have to post an update, I replied calmly. Maybe something about the importance of reading legal documents before trying to steal from your niece and nephew. Mom. Emma called from the backyard. Come look at our rocket. We made room for all our books when we go to Mars University. I have to go, I told Amanda. My future aerospace engineer needs me. This isn't over, Amanda hissed. I'll find a way to fight this. You can't just. I ended the call and stepped out into the backyard. Emma and Lucas had painted stars all over their cardboard rocket, and a carefully lettered sign read, Mars University Express. "It's perfect," I said, hugging them both. "Your dad would have loved it." My phone kept buzzing with incoming texts from Amanda, each one more desperate than the last. I silenced it without reading them. The trust lawyers would handle everything. James had made sure of that. Our children's future was secure, protected by a father's love and foresight, even if he couldn't be here to see it himself. As I helped Emma and Lucas find more boxes to build their space university, I couldn't help but smile. Amanda had always underestimated our family, always thought she could outsmart everyone else. But she'd never understood what James and I knew from the start, that the best investments aren't in mansions or luxury, but in the dreams we build for our children. Tomorrow would bring its own challenges. Amanda wouldn't give up easily, she never did. But for now, I was content watching my children reach for the stars, knowing their father had made sure nothing could hold them back. The next morning, I woke up to 37 missed calls and a flood of text messages from both Amanda and my mother-in-law, Patricia. I was making breakfast for the kids when the doorbell rang, its cheerful chime somehow managing to sound angry. "Mom?" Emma looked up from her cereal. "Is that Aunt Amanda? She keeps posting weird stuff on Facebook about us." I squeezed her shoulder reassuringly. "Finish your breakfast, sweetie. I'll handle this." Sure enough, Amanda stood on my porch, still wearing yesterday's clothes, her perfectly styled hair now a mess. Behind her, Patricia's Mercedes was parked crookily in my driveway. "How dare you humiliate your sister like this?" Patricia burst out before I could even speak. "Do you know how embarrassing it was for her to explain to the realtor that the sale fell through?" I crossed my arms, blocking the doorway. More or less embarrassing than stealing from her niece and nephew's college fund. She didn't steal anything. Patricia snapped. She was simply redistributing family resources. Those children don't need 2 massive college funds. It's excessive. 2? I hadn't meant to engage, but curiosity got the better of me. Amanda's face flushed. "Well, since you're being so difficult about the first account, I thought I'd try the backup fund James mentioned before he died. But those stuck-up lawyers won't even tell me where it is." I felt a surge of gratitude for my late husband's foresight. James had always said his sister would try something like this one day. The second fund was locked away even more securely, a surprise for the kids' graduation day. "You need to fix this," Amanda demanded. "Call off the lawyers. Tell them I had permission to use the money." "That's not happening," I replied firmly. "Those funds are for the children's education. Nothing else." Education. Patricia threw her hands up. James would have wanted his sister to have a beautiful home. Family comes first. Yes, I agreed quietly. Family does come first. That's why James set up those trusts, to protect his children's future. "Oh please," Amanda scoffed. James was just being controlling, like always. He knew I was better with money than him. I could have turned those college funds into a real estate empire. I heard small footsteps behind me and turned to see Lucas in the doorway. His space robot pajamas rumpled from sleep. "Daddy wasn't controlling," he said, his young voice firm. "He was smart. He told me so." Amanda's expression softened into something calculating. "Oh, sweetie," she cooed, "don't you want your Auntie Amanda to have a nice house where you can come visit? We could have a pool, and—" No, Emma appeared beside her brother, her face a mirror of James's when he was angry. "Those are our space university funds. Dad promised." Patricia stepped forward, her designer purse swinging. "Now, children, you don't understand adult matters. Sometimes plans need to change. Your aunt needs—" "I think we're done here," I interrupted, ushering my children back inside. "The trust lawyers will be in touch about the attempted fraud. I suggest you both leave before they add harassment to the list of charges." "Fraud?" Amanda's face went pale. "You wouldn't dare. I'm family." "Exactly," I replied. "Your family. You tried to steal from your own niece and nephew. Think about that." I closed the door on their protests and turned to find both children watching me. Emma's face was thoughtful, while Lucas clutched his favorite book about space doctors. "Mom," Emma asked, "is Aunt Amanda going to jail?" I sat down on the stairs, patting the space beside me. They both curled up close, seeking reassurance. "No, honey. But she did something wrong, and there are consequences for that. Like when I took an extra cookie and had to skip dessert." Lucas asked, Something like that, I smiled, ruffling his hair. But much bigger. Through the window, I could see Amanda and Patricia still arguing in the driveway. My phone buzzed with a text from the trust's lawyer. FYI, she's now trying to claim verbal permission from James. We have his recorded statements specifically prohibiting this. Do you want to proceed with charges? I thought about James, about all our late-night conversations planning for our children's future. He'd known his family well, their patterns, their sense of entitlement. The trusts weren't just about money. They were about protecting our children from exactly this kind of manipulation. Did Dad know Aunt Amanda would do this? Emma asked, always perceptive. He suspected she might try, I admitted. That's why he worked so hard to protect your future. Like a superhero, Lucas exclaimed. A secret superhero who saves college. A car door slammed outside. Through the window, I watched Patricia's Mercedes pull away, Amanda in the passenger seat. My phone immediately lit up with a message from Patricia. This isn't over. Family meeting tonight at our house. Be there or else. I replied with a simple, no thank you, and blocked both their numbers. The trust's lawyers had been clear. All communication should go through them now. Emma leaned against me, her voice quiet. Mom, are we still going to be able to go to college? Absolutely, I assured her. Your dad made sure of that. No one can touch those funds except for your education. And Mars University? Lucas asked anxiously. If you get accepted to Mars University, the funds will be there, I promised, hugging them both. Later that evening, after the kids were in bed, I sat in James' old office, looking through the family photos he kept on his desk. There was one of Amanda at his college graduation, looking bored and resentful. She dropped out after one semester, claiming college was a waste of time. James had tried to help her over the years, offering to pay for her to go back to school. But she always wanted quick fixes, easy money. My phone lit up with an email from the trust's lawyer, updating me on the situation. Amanda's failed attempt to access the funds had triggered an investigation into her other financial dealings. The preliminary findings weren't pretty: unpaid taxes, questionable loans, a pattern of manipulating family members for money. Your husband was right, the lawyer wrote. She would have burned through those college funds in months. The protections he put in place work exactly as intended. The kid's future is secure. I picked up my favorite photo of James with the children, taken at Emma's 7th birthday. He was helping her build a model rocket, while Lucas, just 4 at the time, watched in awe. James had always said our children could reach any height, achieve any dream, as long as we gave them a strong foundation to build on. Amanda and Patricia might never understand that. To them, money was about immediate gratification, about status and showing off. They couldn't see that James' real legacy wasn't about dollars in an account. It was about believing in our children's potential, about giving them the tools to build their own futures. Outside, the night was clear, stars twinkling above our modest home. Somewhere up there, past all those stars, was Mars, where Emma dreamed of building cities and Lucas dreamed of healing space explorers. Their father had made sure those dreams had a chance to grow, protected from those who couldn't see beyond their own desires. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. Patricia's or else threat would materialize in some form, and Amanda wouldn't give up easily. But tonight, I was grateful for James's wisdom, for his love that reached beyond time to protect our children's dreams. 3 months after Amanda's failed attempt to steal the college funds, I sat in my lawyer's office reviewing the final settlement agreement. The investigation into Amanda's finances had revealed even more than we'd expected. She'd been forging Patricia's signature on loans, convincing distant relatives to invest in non-existent businesses, and running up massive debts in pursuit of her luxury lifestyle. The trust protections didn't just save your children's education. Mr. Sullivan explained, sliding the papers across his desk. They expose years of financial fraud. Several other family members have come forward about money she took from them. I thought about the family meeting Patricia had tried to force. It had happened without me, turning into a shouting match when other relatives realized the extent of Amanda's deceptions. My brother-in-law Tom called afterward, apologizing for doubting me. James always said she was dangerous with money, he admitted. I should have listened. The settlement was straightforward. Amanda would repay her victims over time, attend financial counseling, and most importantly, have no access to any family funds in the future. Patricia, faced with evidence of her daughter's actions, had finally stopped enabling her. My phone buzzed with a text from Emma's teacher. Space project presentation today. Emma's rocket design is incredible. I smiled, remembering the cardboard prototype still standing in our garage. Emma had upgraded it with real calculations about fuel efficiency and atmospheric drag. Lucas had contributed by designing a space hospital inside, complete with zero-gravity operating rooms. One more thing, Mr. Sullivan said as I signed the papers. We found this in James's old files. He asked that it be given to you if Amanda ever tried to access the trusts. He handed me an envelope sealed with James's familiar scrawl across the front. For Marie, when Amanda shows her true colors. Inside was a letter, written in James's warm, thoughtful style. My dear Marie, if you're reading this, it means Amanda finally tried to take what isn't hers. I'm sorry you had to deal with this, but I never doubted you'd protect our children's future. Amanda always thought I was too cautious, too focused on planning ahead. She never understood that true wealth isn't about mansions or status. It's about giving our children wings to fly and roots to come home to. The second trust fund I set up, it's not just for college. I've arranged for it to cover any educational dream our children pursue. Whether it's Emma building rockets or Lucas healing people among the stars. They can reach for anything, knowing they have a foundation to build on. Tell them their daddy believed in their dreams, even the ones that seem as distant as Mars. All my love, James. That evening, I watched Emma present her rocket design to her class. She stood tall, explaining thrust vectors and orbital mechanics with the same passion James had shown for building things. Lucas sat in the front row, bursting with pride at his big sister's work. And this, Emma concluded, pointing to her diagram, is how we'll get to Mars University. The class erupted in applause. Her teacher pulled me aside afterward. She's got a real gift for engineering, and such determination. She gets that from her father, I said softly. At home, I found a final email from Patricia waiting. I was wrong. James knew exactly what he was doing, protecting them from us. I'm sorry. I tucked James's letter into the family album, next to the photo of him building rockets with Emma. Amanda's betrayal had hurt, but it had also proved something important. That love, wisdom, and careful planning could protect dreams across time through any storm. The kids were in the backyard, upgrading their cardboard rocket with solar panels made from aluminum foil. Their dreams were safe, their future secure, protected by a father who'd seen clearly and planned wisely. Mom, Lucas called. We made room for a whole medical library in the rocket. Want to see? I stepped outside into the warm evening air. Above us, Mars glowed red against the darkening sky. Distant, but not impossible. Just like James had always said. Show me everything, I replied, ready to dream with them.